for Twitter has been like a place where I can meet a bunch of really incredible people who will give me some credit for like, I don't have that much backing me up, but I have like, people can give me credit for some future potential and then like, give me some time and help me out. And, even for like the OpenAI job, like this is mostly like people being like, I've seen what Will build, like I believe in him and I'm giving him some credit for like the future. And for me, like so many opportunities that come from this, especially like even like tech friends, like, people I know in the area, mutual friends of ours, like a lot of that was just like tweeting on Twitter and finding those friends, people that help you out. I moved to, the reason why I came to SF was a friend of mine, like basically, now just like DM me on Twitter, like, hey, you want to come stay at my hacker house, basically.
Really?
I was like, cool, like awesome. I wanted out of LA. This is the perfect thing for me to do. So I think that's what it's mostly about for like opportunity. To be clear, I do think that Twitter is extremely valuable because like because like the worst part about Twitter is the fact that like any tweet could go to everyone on the platform if enough people retweeted it, which is horrible, right? Like if I can say something dumb and enough people retweet it, like at some point everyone will see it, which is bad.
Yeah.
Like,
and then it goes on Instagram.
Yeah. That's a better point. Yeah. But I think the key is that if you succeed, you have the opportunity to see an infinite amount of people on the platform, right? You can just keep growing. It's like, building and succeeding in public is so insanely valuable.
Yeah.
And like, that's what I did, which is like, I'll just post my projects, except I'm not posting them to like my friends on my Snapchat story or even on LinkedIn. It's like on Twitter, which is intentionally made for like quick growth and lots of exposure.
Yeah.
One thing we've always talked about of like the strategy of really go heavy on quality for long form and then just like pump out quantity for short form.
Yeah.
I've started to think that on Twitter, that's not the right strategy for growing, which is why like, in the past we had posted 3 times a day on Twitter for the doc. We just post a clip every single day, 3 times. And we saw almost 0 followers on Twitter. We would post these like intros that you've probably seen on my account.
Yep.
And then we switched to posting these like high quality intros on the doc account and we stopped posting the clips and our account started to grow again after not growing for like 4 or 5 months. Then you look at people like you, Stephen Tay, like even like Aleem's account.
Yeah.
You guys only post when you have something interesting to share or like a project to share. And especially like Aleem, like he doesn't even retweet. Like he's very like we've asked him to retweet our stuff in the past. Like, hey, can you like retweet this?
Yeah,
too?
I don't do it either, actually.
Yeah, and he says no because
nobody like cares. But like I don't. People who I don't know.
ask.
Like I have my friends on here. Like they're following because they like me and they want to catch up with me and like
so
see
you
what I'm
could
doing.
retweet something.
Yeah. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, depends. But.
and then you like have this like associated level of quality, or like this level of quality associated with your brand. And I think that that's probably the better way to grow now if you want to grow on Twitter.
Yeah. I don't mind talking about this, but I really don't like the fact that like I think a lot of people and this is something I've struggled with and have to work with is just like over speciating to Twitter in a way that like doesn't, it's just like harmful, right? If it's like good Hart's law, right? If it becomes the goal, it ceases to become a good metric. Like Twitter followers is a good metric for people, how much people care about you. But like if you're optimizing only for Twitter followers, it's not a good metric anymore.
Interesting.
And so, yeah, I think like doing cool stuff is the goal and making great content is the goal. And like, I think a lot of people try to like optimize for the wrong thing. It's like the elephant in the room was like, do the thing. And everyone's like, oh, like I'm working on the other things, like that's not the metric, right?
Yeah.
How do you decide what to work on?
That I think is like probably the most important skill I have, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think like having a good cue for what excites you, what you're curious about, what you think is cool, like honestly, right? And I think, it took a long time to grow. And I think, there's definitely some people, I think when you come like startup ideas or things they're working on, or even just like projects they ship, where you're like, man, every single time this guy posts, it's something cool, right? Like you're able to build this kind of like, I'd say like policy to like know what is interesting. And once you do, it's insanely valuable. I honestly, I don't know if this is true, it might not be. Like, I think for me, it was just by doing the stuff I actually cared about. Like, I think this is cool. I think this is sick. Like everything I've ever mostly done recently, it's just like, this seems cool. Like nobody's done this before. I want to do it, So that's basically it. Yeah.
But then how would you say you refine that over time? Like for me, I feel like I've gotten pretty good at design in the last year, but that's specifically from working with designers on our team that are much better than me and working with people on our team that have a much better sense than me.
Yep.
How does that relate when it comes to code? Is it just looking at GitHub repos?
Oh, I don't think I'm that good of a coder. I don't code that much anyway. I code a good amount, but like it's only about the goal, right?
Okay. And then how would you say you've developed a taste for what to build?
I think I build something and it doesn't work out. I'm like, okay, why didn't that work out? Or maybe not even that, just like continue. I honestly think like, I don't really listen to, for a while. I mean, just like in terms of context of like how I've been building, it's mostly just been like alone in my room, whatever, in my basement, whatever, like sitting around doing stuff. Like I'm bored in school, I'm going to build stuff. I'm in college and like my classes kind of suck and I'm not that interested in things, I'm just going to build stuff too. And like, that's been my feeling. And so I actually even now I haven't read that many of the startup books that everybody else reads or whatever, the blog posts or whatever. Like, I just don't read that much. I don't look at these other things. I mostly, post things I like on Twitter and talk to my friends and, try to build a community around that. And so I guess that's my policy. And I think most of the time it's like, even when it comes to like what I work on, it's like, I just work on what I care about and what I think is cool. And like, that develops internally. Like, I build something and like, did it turn out to be what I liked? And if I liked it and it didn't succeed, that's fine. I'll just keep doing it. Like, that it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I think it works out. Because I think even if you want to talk about like kind of audiences on Twitter, for example, like, I think I've curated an audience just by doing the things I care about that actually cares about the things I care about. Like, this is true for a lot of young builders who are starting. We're going to build cool stuff and nobody's going to care, right? And the reason why is that people aren't listening, right? And I think once you start doing this over time, it just compounds. And at some point, like, people start to listen and you get the right people looking. And I think that's what it's been for me.
So I want to break down your design process.
Totally.
Specifically to start off, Config 2023 was a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you went very viral for building an entire computer just using Figma variables. Yeah. Walk me through the process, because you did that in like 24 hours or something crazy.
Yeah.
Did you know you were going to do that before Config?
No. I think this is the thing. Like, there is a part of me that, like, because I've been active online for a while, I know what people like. And I know, and actually I tweeted a very long post about this. If you scroll through my thing, actually about the Alexandria project, we can talk about later, but like, tweeted about how, like, I don't like that I know too well what people will like and what people will respond to, because it screws up with what I actually want to build. And like, the perception of success and the reality of success is like so disconnected. And I think you only realize that when you come out to the bay and you're like, oh my God, like, the people that look like they're succeeding are not. The people that don't look like they're succeeding are.
So true.
And I think, so you don't want to optimize for perception, right? And so once you do, you start, like, you're able to ship products that everybody cares about, but you actually realize, like, are kind of empty on the inside because nobody checks. And like, that is the worst part. I felt that about the Alexandria project, but like, it doesn't matter. Like, it wasn't, stuff like that. You just go in the wrong direction. But for like the Figma project, I remember, I had built a computer in Minecraft like 4 years ago or something. I forget why. I think I just got really bored and I was with my friend. And I'm like, I wonder how this works. And there's an amazing blog post on like some random Minecraft forum, like how to build a computer from scratch. It's insanely helpful. It just walks you through the entire thing. And I had so much fun doing that I was like, I remember like seeing this it was 1:30 a.m. and I was on my phone scrolling Twitter, and I saw a tweet that said like prototyping is here, right? And I look at the prototyping and it has if-else statements have variables. And I'm like,
prototyping in Figma specifically.
Yeah, and you can do if-else statements in Figma now, and you can do variables in Figma. And the second I saw that, I'm like, I know you can build a computer, because anything with if-else statements and state, you can build an entire computer from, right? Because that's just transistors and basically like, in computer terms, it's just like a switch and like a memory. And like, that's all you need to build a Turing complete computer. And I saw that and I was like, oh shit, I can build a computer in Figma. And I'm like, probably nobody else knows this right now. And so I spent the next 6 hours. I got up, I was like, one, this is going to go insane. I just knew it was going to work. But also, I love this shit. Like, I love building. I think if you ever do this from scratch, you're just kind of a blast. It's so fun. It's just like a pretty creative process, and it's so intricate and a very kind of like stimulating way. And for me, I just like sat down and like try to figure out how to do it over the next probably 48 hours. And to be clear, I'm unemployed. That's why I could do that. I was doing a lot of stuff at the time, to be clear, but it was also like, I had set a bunch of time apart where like I was looking for a job and in the process of going through that, interviewing with a lot of people, but like I set apart a lot of time for myself to like do what I cared about. And that's how I had time to do that. So, yeah.
Let's talk about the Alexandria project.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
What was the thought process? What made you want to build it?
I think like somebody recently was asking me like, hey, Will, like, what do you want to work on? And OpenAI basically. And I was like, I had a hard time answering, also because I'm really new to the AI space. I'm trying to learn as much as I can.
Yeah. Are you new? I feel like you've been in it for a while.
So I didn't know that much. I haven't learned that much, but I didn't have the opportunity to. I've just been very passionate about it. I actually, like, when GPT-3 launched like 2 years ago, a friend of my dad's had built like a chat app with it. I remember we got access and that was really cool. And I was like, and then some guy made a chat wrapper around it. And I remember chatting with it at like midnight and like talking through it all through the night with my dad. I cuddled over a laptop talking to this thing. And we were just like it's like basically ChatGPT, except like 2 years ago.
Sure.
And I remember being there and like, I was like, I'm never going to forget this day in my life. And like ever since then, I've kind of like cared about AI and I've been very interested in it, but I never had the opportunity to actually do it or like I was doing startups that are adjacent or doing other things. Like the Discord bot started out as like an NLP project. I want to do like AI moderation. We did that for a bit. We like flag messages that are problematic, but nobody cares. Like that's not the tool that matters in that space. And so like, I guess in terms of how much I know about what I want to do, very little, you know. But anyways, this guy was asking like, what do you care about? Or like, what do you want to work on? And I think for me, I was like, the best projects I've ever built, I think or the best thing I made have not really become something I had a bunch of passion for that I wanted to work on. There are good projects like that, like Figma Computers. Like I just wanted to do it and I knew I would really enjoy it. It comes from like going through things and realizing like, why has no one done this? And like somebody needs to do this. And okay, nobody else is doing it, so I have to.